Hey guys, welcome to another episode of F2Talk. It's King DX joined with
Show 60.
And today we're going to be talking about Metal Gear Solid 5, which is the latest entry in the Metal Gear Solid franchise. So basically today's podcast, we're just going to be kind of talking about our experience with the Metal Gear Solid franchise. If we do get into any spoilers, we're going to try to get away from those. We're going to do our best not to ruin anything for you guys that haven't played yet. But if we do find ourselves in spoiler territory, we'll make sure to give you guys a warning. So you know it's coming. So for right now, we'll give you a small warning to say there may be spoilers. Before any of them pop up, though, you will be given a notice ahead of time. So, I guess just kind of going on, like we were kind of talking a little bit earlier before we started rolling. Let's kind of give everybody kind of a insight to our Metal Gear Solid background and our kind of wealth of knowledge, just so everyone kind of has an understanding of our perspectives.
Well, I didn't play the first game, but I did play the second game.
Okay.
I don't know, was it NES or yeah, I believe it was NES.
Oh, okay.
Or
the
SNES.
original.
Yeah, not the original though, the second one.
Oh yeah,
There were two games, and ironically enough, like Metal Gear was like one of my favorite games even back then. It was just so dope, like you hiding.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And of course, Solid, Sons of Liberty, Snake Eater, which in my opinion was the best in their franchise until now. Mm-hmm. Metal Gear Solid 4, which was still great, but it was.
I only laugh because me and this guy tried to beat Metal Gear Solid 4 in one day, and that didn't go well.
It did.
that did not.
No, we did beat it in one day though.
Yeah, but I tried to skip every cutscene.
If he's purpose of playing Metal Gear, if you're gonna skip the cutscene.
I'm not watching somebody make eggs for like 30 minutes.
How many years ago was that?
You know what? That's fine. But mentally, I you can tell I was breaking mentally.
Mike, she cooking eggs, Mike. She cooking eggs.
Like mentally, I was not prepared for so many cutscenes. Not to mention, it was installing like every 30 minutes. It was look. You know what got me? When we did an hour cutscene, it installed for like 15 minutes and then went into another hour cutscene. I was over that game completely.
Well, super off topic, but MGS4 to me the problem there was Act 3.
Act 3?
That was the one where you went to go talk to Eva, Big Mama.
Oh yeah.
That's where the majority of the game's cutscenes were.
Yeah.
But anyway, more into the topic. Where is your experience with Metal Gear?
So kind of like you, I didn't play any of the original NES games. I did, however, play the Game Boy Color version that came out. I think it was Metal Gear, and I really can't think of the name. No. It was not the card game. It was the actual Game Boy Color version of it. Like I had like tracking rockets and everything. It had like a VR mission. Like it was pretty cool, man. Actually, it was a pretty fun experience. Then I played MGS1, MGS2. I actually skipped Snake Eater because I hated Metal Gear Solid 2 so bad. And it's not necessarily that I hated it. It was just that from a gameplay sense, everything just kind of felt the same to me. Like I thought some characters were really cool. Like I liked Vamp. I liked who's the guy who had the C4 all over him? The demo.
Fat Man?
Yeah, was that his name? Fat Man?
Yeah.
I liked him. I thought that fight was kind of dope. And then I don't know though. Like overall, like I didn't like Raiden. I wasn't really feeling the story. So when 3 came out, even though it was dealing with the Snake that we're currently working with in MGS5, Big Boss, I just kind of wasn't interested. So I kind of strayed away from it. Metal Gear Solid 4, like we obviously just talked about, me and Show played that together. We actually got it, loaded it up, tried to beat it in a whole day. I even went back and played it later on, and I enjoyed that game. Especially like the end boss fight on Metal Gear Solid 4. I guess I should give you guys another warning. We have no problem spoiling any games up to Metal Gear Solid 5, and you will not get a warning for that. If you haven't played any of the games up to Metal Gear Solid 5, I might spoil fucking everything. If you didn't know, there's a nuclear mounted bio weapon, and it's not technically a bio weapon, I guess I should say a bipedal weapon called Metal Gear. It's made of steel or something, and there have been a couple variations of it. So
couple?
Yeah, just a couple, just a few, like 2 or 3, I think. Not that many. So hopefully it doesn't spoil anything for you. But moving on, let's go on to Metal Gear Solid 5. Kind of our thoughts on it. What we've experienced so far. About the story, the gameplay, the overall mechanics. And then we'll also maybe kind of go into kind of what we think the future of the Metal Gear Solid series may hold for it. So, Sho, you want to start off on what your experience has been so far? What would have been, kind of like the best parts of the game for you so far,
well,
the worst parts?
I think the best thing about Metal Gear, period, is the fact that it's so structured. Like how they did the whole open world, it's like there's no way for us to have the same experience. Yeah. You know what I mean? Your big boss and the way your playstyle is gonna be totally different from my big boss and my playstyle.
Yeah.
So like I really feel like they knocked the out the park in this one, because it's like while I'm playing this game, when you know how you play a game, you're like, oh man, this game would be great if they did this.
Yeah.
But then you wait a couple seconds. As soon as you say that, you realize they did that. They thought of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's, oh man, I'm really loving it. Just in general, man, the gameplay is just so fluent. The stealth is so good. The graphics are so great. The shooting is so good. Like a lot of times when I get seen, y'all fought.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go back and get an S rank later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it's like back to experiences. Like you and I have such a different experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the quiet boss encounter, and I don't really count that as a spoiler I don't count that as a spoiler. Spoiler. Anyway, since you didn't play Snake Eater, when you fought Quiet, your perspective to that fight was a little different from mine. Even though you essentially did the same thing naturally.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, look, I ain't got a sniper rifle. Oh, she humming. Picked you up on the binoculars. Okay, I got something for you. Yeah. Snuck around her. Caught her with that CQC, and it was a wrap.
Yeah. No, I think...
I S-ranked that, too, by the way. First try.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure we definitely upload some footage of that. Yeah, I guess with me... So, as far as my experience, I've been loving the game as well. Like, it's been a while since I had a single-player game that I've just really been, like, crazy over, that I feel like I just constantly want to play it. Metal Gear Solid 5 has definitely been that for me. So, I guess, playing this game, obviously I always need to be, we're going to treat you like the fourth Hokage, and I'm going to be essentially the Nine Tails chakra inside of Naruto, right? I gotta be the opposite. So, basically... I know that was kind of a long, roundabout way of saying that, right?
It's a reference. I tried. Got in the article, so you good.
I tried. Sorry if you guys didn't get Naruto references. But anyway, so, like, I've loved the game. However, with every game I play, as I do in life, I always somehow manage to see all the flaws. And some of my biggest flaws for Metal Gear Solid 5 so far have been things like trying to go to areas that definitely look accessible. Like, obviously there's no, secret that the game originally starts off in Afghanistan, and there's a few different locations. Now, Afghanistan has a lot of mountainous terrain. There's a lot of, rocks and a lot of things you can kind of, go over, right?
Right.
So... just in dealing with that, there's a lot of situations in which I see a base and I'm like, hey, I kind of scope everything out. I, lock everybody in my binoculars, and based on how I see everybody moving, based on the structure of the base, I decide that my best approach may be to come on the left side, go up top of the hill and flank around. That's just kind of how I think about things. And then in the midst of me making my moves toward that area so I can execute that plan, I'll get over there. And then I'll find out, well, this rock that's only to my waist, I can't get up it. And I start sliding back down the hill. And things like that kind of mess with me a little bit, only because I feel like the biggest selling point of Metal Gear Solid 5 was the fact that it was open world. And don't get me wrong, there's still 1,000,001 ways that you can handle a mission and how you can go about solving it, which I love. I mean, that's great. But I do sometimes find myself frustrated when the way that I have chosen to go, which to me makes the most logical sense, is blocked off by somewhat of an invisible wall. And it's not invisible wall in the sense of, like a really bad game where it's just like a fence you can't get over for some reason. If you go past the fence, you die. It's more so that it at least looks, like something you should be able to get to and you can't. And, that kind of lends a little bit of frustration from time to time. I mean, overall, it doesn't kill my enjoyment of the missions. Like, I still have fun doing them. That's just been one small little pet peeve. And then also, I can't speak to the Xbox One version of the game, but I know on the PS4 version I've encountered a bunch of technical issues. And it's the same thing that kind of went back to the PS3 version of Metal Gear Solid 4, where it seems like they're really good at making games, but on the technical aspect, they don't seem to be so good at, getting it to run properly on hardware. So for the PS4 version, I've already ran into issues with the game installing. I've run into issues where, whenever I'm connected online, if I try to pull up my iDroid, which is your little in-game device that kind of manages, Snake and, everything going on around Mother Base. When I try to do that, it'll kind of time out like it's trying to log into the servers, and then all of a sudden it won't load anymore, and I'm trying to, get weapons and stuff. So just a few bugs here and there. All in all, none are really detriments to my experience. But there are definitely things that I think we should probably point out to the people listening just so they're aware of them.
There was an article, not Eurogamer, I forget what the site was, but it was Eurogamer's affiliated with another site. Mm-hmm. And the article was talking about the run speeds and like the differences between the the Xbox One version and the PlayStation 4 version.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, the PlayStation 4 version is in 1080p. The Xbox One version is in, I think, 980p. Huh. Or anyway, but it was basically saying how screen tearing and frame rate, the Xbox One version ran more consistent. So I think some of it, there's some, like, I've experienced it. Like, my thing has been, I've like slid down stuff, mm-hmm. but it's like how old CDs used to skip, so it'd be like I'm sliding down, I'm stuck, sliding, trying to fall off one rock.
Yeah.
But other than that, I haven't experienced any technical issues aside from not being able to retrieve my Ground Zeroes upload for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think that's their servers.
Yeah,
I think
it's like server log failure. But I'm like, well, everybody else got theirs.
Yeah.
I got Kojima and he had S rank.
Yeah, I don't know. On mine, I haven't had any screen tearing. Like, I haven't had any visual like bugs. Like, I haven't got stuck in a wall. I haven't seen like anybody clipping through anything or anything like that. It's just all been more like technical things. Like, it'll try to load up and it'll just fail to load or something like that. Like stuff like that. Not necessarily like visual aspects. But as far as the experience, so let's talk about one mission. We'll just you know what? Never mind. Let's not talk about one mission. Let's just talk about an experience. So this is Metal Gear. Everybody knows that at some point in time you're going to have to sneak, right? So there's a multitude of villages and side missions that you can kind of pick up around the world. So I guess let's get kind of like a different approach as far as how we go about doing different missions, right? So there's a few missions very early on in the game. One, I think we talked about it earlier, where there was a cave filled with a bunch of diamonds. I don't know if you remember that particular mission. Though. Yeah. So with that mission, did you go in guns blazing?
It's mission 6. Yeah. What are we talking about?
It's mission 6. Hey, that's fine. Hey, I got an S rank on that mission, so that's fine.
Are you S rank mission 6?
Hold on, no. I take that back. I got an A because I died because I fell off a cliff. Another technical issue.
I got an A on that one too.
Never mind. Sorry, I thought I had an S on that. I think it was 7. I got an S on. But anyway, so in this particular mission, basically you just have to get something. You're kind of on a recovery mission.
This is spoiler alert. We ain't gonna talk about the cutscenes, but it's a giant helicopter that's in this mission too.
Okay.
So I'm saying let's just talk about all of the gameplay.
Oh, okay, yeah, definitely. And
this is the one where you got to cross that big bridge.
Yeah, there's a big bridge. There's a helicopter, and basically you're just trying to find a weapon. I mean, that's the basics of this mission. So starting off, obviously we have two different approaches to how we went about handling it. You want me to go first, or?
Well, I'll go first because like at this time I didn't have DD yet.
Okay, and DD for those
Diamond
listening
dog,
is the Diamond Dog. He's a little wolf dog, and it's funny because you can actually hear people in Mother Base arguing about
whether he's a dog
or a wolf. And
I be wanting to slam people for that one too. I mean, shut up, judo slam.
That shit ain't relevant. Do your job. Yeah. So anyway, he's a little companion that kind of follows you around and he helps you on missions.
Well, for one, I don't play the game because you can choose the time you go in for a mission. Mm-hmm. I don't. I always play as soon as possible. If it's daylight, I'm playing in broad daylight. If it's nighttime, I'm playing at night.
Yep.
And also, I rarely use my night vision goggles. I should probably use them more because they're helpful, but I really don't. I don't know. I just don't like night vision. I've never liked the night vision goggles in the Metal Gear series historically.
Never liked them at all.
Yeah, that's just me. So, I mean, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to go over everything because that was kind of a long mission. But like I was really excited when I got to the bridge and was like, damn, this shit big.
Yeah.
How am I gonna get around this? Okay, well, cause it's like the way the game is made, like cause it's like since you don't know, you kind of like I was a little more serious, a little more tense. So it was just great. Like just sneaking around, taking my time.
Yeah.
Piece by piece. I did get spotted by a sniper on that point briefly, but you know it is what it is. But from there, it was I thought that's the first time you see the helicopter.
Yeah.
I thought that was dope. Now, I put this in an article on the site. I was talking about my reference with the Byakugan versus the Rinnegan. Meaning, you as a player, once you tag someone, you can see everyone.
Yeah.
But the computer has the ability to know where you're at even when they don't see you. So the slight, and I'm just nitpicking, but like with the helicopter, okay, it's circling this area, but if you look even closer, it's actually circling a radius around you, not the area that it's in. And I really noticed it in Mission 12. But anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
In the caves, I think that was the best part of Mission 6. And I need to replay it because I wanted to just follow them to the honeybee. I was getting too impatient, man.
Okay.
I had to just... Because when they were standing so close, so a tactic I have is that if it's 4 people, it was 5 of them, right? One of them was a hostage, 3 soldiers right near each other, and it was a third soldier, a fourth soldier, I'm sorry. I tranked him so he would drop. When they looked, I ran at him. Somebody saw me, went in reflex mode. But I'm still running at him in slow motion. I'm just catching him with the slam like I'm the boss from Metal Gear Solid 3. Bang!
Oh, you can throw it. It looks like it takes a while to throw people in reflex mode.
Combo it, so it don't matter.
Oh.
So I'm running at the person who saw me. Boom. Then you combo it and get all 3 of them. So that's just a prime example, but man, the game is pretty good, man.
Yeah. So on that mission, would you say you found yourself using your gun a lot, or were you just doing mostly close quarters?
I pretty much use the tranquilizer gun, and like I don't historically do supply drops. So if I'm out, I'm just out. Yeah. That's when people getting choked out at that point. It is what it is.
I admit I do. I'm very I use supply drops a lot because a lot of times what'll happen is on my way to the mission, I'll run into like a smaller base first, kind of like a checkpoint, right? And while I'm there, I might notice a soldier that has a good ability that I like, that I want to recruit and bring back to our base. Now, for those of you who don't know, on Metal Gear Solid 5, you have essentially a mother base, which is kind of like your, base of operations, right? And then in this base, you're allowed to have a research and development team, an intel team, and all these different teams. There's more teams. All these different teams kind of help you excel and develop new weapons, and essentially make the game a little bit more enjoyable for you as a whole. What I try to do is if I notice somebody with very good skills, I'll try to bring them on to my team. So a lot of times in the midst of a mission, I'll just happen to notice one and I'll kind of deviate to go get that person. So I'm normally almost always about stealth. I keep a sniper rifle on me with the silencer. I keep an assault rifle with the silencers, and then I have my tranquilizer gun as well. So basically when I played that mission, I would always have to deviate to go get somebody. I'm like, oh, I really want this guy's skill set. So I would deviate and it would break my silencer. And then, I would have to get a supply drop to get that all fixed. So when I was doing the mission, originally starting off getting to the bridge, like I'm not really known for killing a bunch of targets. But as you probably know, playing with me or being around me in general, the later it gets and the more tired I am, the less my patience goes down completely. So for that mission, I started off originally being very stealthy. And, I took my time getting up to the chopper. And there was like that base, that one base, because I flanked on the right side and I came up the path to the right. And there's like this base going up the hill right on top of the bridge. And when I got there, and we're like 4 or 5 guys. One was taking a nap. And I took my time, put them all to sleep, drug their bodies out of the way so the helicopter couldn't spot them. Put the futon on them, recovered them, sent them all back to mother base. you know, it was all good, and stole a mortar while I was there. You know, had a field day, right? And then I slowly crept my way up into the main area where you need to continue the rest of the mission. Now, when I got into that main area, I was like, all right, well, now that I'm here, I'll, you know, kind of take my time and do what I need to do again. And I started creeping around, and I went through this one door, and in the midst of me going through the door made a noise. Now, mind you, anybody in this base could be going through this door. But for some reason, when I go through the door and the door makes a noise, everyone's alarmed. So I go through it. This one guy hears it. He comes in. I get pressured. I didn't have my tranquilizer gun out at the time. I had my assault rifle out for whatever reason. And I had to take his head off. I picked his body up, put him in the room. And after that happened, I decided, well, I guess I got to keep killing more people. And I just went on a killing spree. Because, you know, one of the things that makes putting people to sleep so hard, especially when there's a lot of people in like an area, is that when you put them to sleep, even if like you get into another fight in a different area and they go into alert status and you successfully hide, when they find this guy asleep and they wake him up, they're going to say, oh, we got an enemy, and they're going to go back into alert status. So what I've learned to do is just kill people when it's too many people. So if I ever go into an area where there's like 14, 15,
in the herd.
If there's 14 or 15 people, I'm just killing. Like that's gonna always be the deciding factor in whether I'm gonna play stealthy or whether I'm going to take lives.
Man, listen. Mother base needs recruits.
That's fine.
Anybody who is a C or better is liable to be recruited.
Fair enough.
The D's and E's, yeah, they probably getting capped. I might even go to B's and A's, tell you the truth. But my thing for that, my stratagem for that same type of encounter is I still put them to sleep, but what I do is I do body shots.
Oh.
I don't want you to fall asleep right now. So I'll even try to get maybe 8 to 10 people in a time frame, so when person A drops, when person B notices, he goes over, but then he falls asleep. It's like a domino effect.
No, I mean, that's smart. I guess my thing with the body shots is I don't feel like I know for a fact that I've shot him.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because sometimes it'll register and it won't, and sometimes you'll get the exclamation mark over their head. Sometimes you won't.
Yeah, so that's my only issue with that. I'm sometimes like really worried about them falling over. But, you know, kind of going back to this particular mission, right? So I got past the helicopter. There was definitely a few moments where I had my sniper rifle out, wondering if I could snipe the pilot out. That legitimately, I was thinking that.
Did you try?
No, I didn't try. But I did notice you could see two heads in the helicopter, so you could see the driver and you could see, I guess, the co-pilot or the gunner or whoever. But no, I didn't decide to take a shot. I decided to be a little bit more patient and just kind of, you know, sneak my way past. So I get into the main zone to get the weapon, and I start going through, and a sandstorm comes. Now, the one thing I love is that every time you get to a new area inside of Metal Gear Solid 5, there are kind of like these different weather effects that will happen periodically in the open world that kind of affect, you know, what you can do. Sandstorm messes up visibility, messes up snipers. I mean, it messes up a lot of stuff. However, if they've been tagged and you kind of have a good sense of where they were before the sandstorm started, then you can be a little more reckless. Now, what I did was when the sandstorm came, I hauled ass. Like, I ran straight through the middle of their base.
Really?
Trucking. Like, I just trucked straight through the middle of their base.
I didn't have a sandstorm.
And see, that's the thing that changes how that mission plays out. So I ran straight through, and when I ran through, they were still with the prisoner, like, talking to him, and I just took them all out, like, then and there. Like, they couldn't even see me. I just came through and just took them all out. But, you know, later on in the mission, a little further ahead, I ended up having to get into a couple gunfights. But it's just one of those things where I felt like, you know, missions like that where obviously me and you both have different experiences is what I think sets Metal Gear apart. You know, now if we go into like some of the other things that Metal Gear has going on for it, it does have like we talked about Mother Base, which is kind of this
customizable base platform that you can build upon.
Exactly, and you have to kind of monitor it. You have troops you can send out on missions. You have resources that need to be gathered. There's a lot of intricacies that kind of go into maintaining your base. The better your base is, the better your gear can be. And then, you know, not to say necessarily the easier the game becomes for you. But in some cases, the more rich the experience. Like there's like a decoy device that you can throw, and then stun grenades, things of that nature. Some of those things that you may be used to from the old Metal Gears don't unlock until you've developed them inside of your base. So that's one really cool thing about the mother base they have set up. Another thing that I really like about the game is the cassette tape that kind of give you a little bit more story that you may not necessarily be interested in, but it does allow you to kind of hear kind of the thoughts of what's going on in the world.
Well, here's my take on that, and I pretty much I 70% agree with you. I like it. I like that over the codec, and it's not that I had a real problem with the codec, but then it did get to the point to where if you wasn't playing the game for the very first time, or you just want to hear the story again, you skip every codec conversation anyway. So what purpose did it serve?
Yeah.
But there are certain things, especially early in the game, that are in tapes. And as example, the little cutscene from the prologue to the first mission. Some of the stuff from 2 of those tapes should have been in that cutscene.
Yeah.
As I'm talking about, because it's like, since Metal Gear has always kind of been like overkill on the talk or whatever, it's like it's actually brilliant that they did it.
Yeah.
But the downside to it is that there are a lot of Western developers who have been doing it.
Yeah.
And to me, it's always been a pain in the ass. Like, why do I have to search for stuff that's in your storyline? Like the minute stuff, I'm with you. The nuances, I'm with you, but not the core storyline stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess I'm going to disagree a bit. I feel like I definitely see your perspective. I feel like a lot of those pieces could have been definitely part of like cutscenes and things of that nature, but I don't necessarily completely feel like everything was wholeheartedly, so intricate to the story that it needed to be there. You know what I mean? Like the experience of Metal Gear, like let's be honest, Metal Gear has a very long, convoluted storyline, right? I mean, I don't think anybody would completely agree on what the storyline of Metal Gear Solid 5 is unless you're the person who wrote it. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I feel like it's one of those situations where the story, I feel like story matters in Metal Gear Solid 5, but maybe not as much as people may believe it matters as far as Metal Gear Solid 5 is concerned. Like, I feel like when you play Metal Gear, you're playing Metal Gear because you want to enjoy the gameplay. Not to say you don't enjoy the story. I'm just saying that I feel like the story isn't necessarily the main reason. And if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, someone feel free to chime in.
One of the driving factors is the story. I want to see what happens.
Wow.
Hey, I mean, the gameplay is great. I'm just talking about in the Metal Gear series, period.
Yeah.
That's why when we played Metal Gear Solid 5, I was like, man, why you skipping the cutscenes for? This is the fuck we came for, was the cutscenes.
Yeah.
But again, everybody's different. I mean, in this game, he made the better choice.
Yeah.
But I just think that a couple of those tapes when they was talking about his bionic arm and all that stuff, it should have been. I don't feel like you should have to search for that.
No, I agree. I can definitely see your point on that. And, I think overall, though, the presentation and the way they've changed it from the previous iterations still makes it a better experience as a whole.
Yeah, because like the episodic structure and the fact that you can see that they designed the game for, your person may not play it for 6 hours straight.
Yeah.
They may only play it for an hour. So it's like it's structured around that gameplay experience. And man, I mean, really, the proof is in the pudding. Like, it's not just the highest rated review game so far. Like, it's really fucking good.
No, it's incredibly good, and I think the reception of it is pretty good. So, if someone hasn't played a Metal Gear Solid game before, do you think they could jump right into Metal Gear and start playing it, and they would kind of have fun with it, or do you feel like maybe they should go back and get some older versions of the game?
I mean, really, if this was your first one, then I would recommend playing Ground Zeroes.
Okay. Just
so you can be familiar with the gameplay, because like I think like another difference in the way we play, like I had Ground Zeroes for an entire year.
Yeah.
Before, I mean, it was free, and I'm not saying that that wasn't a better decision to wait for it, but it's like I got to the point to where like that Ground Zeroes mission, it was nothing for me to S rank that.
Oh, okay.
So like a lot of times, that's me back to not using supply drops. I don't need no bullets. I got this.
But
I'm big boss.
That's what's funny, right? So like you said, so I waited until Ground Zeroes came out for free on PlayStation Plus. I think it was in June I downloaded it, played both missions like once, and never went back. Like, for some reason, to me, Ground Zeroes wasn't that great. Like, I was just like, oh man, I can't wait to play it. And I started playing, I was like, alright, no, I'm not really having fun. And now when I play Metal Gear Solid 5, I'm like, oh shit, I can't wait to get back home and play it and, you know, boot it up and start playing. And I tried to sit around and figure out what was causing that huge difference in my take on the two different experiences. And I think, to some extent, I didn't care about Ground Zeroes because I knew it was just 2 missions. And what I mean by that, I know there's side missions, I know there's other stuff to do in Ground Zeroes, but primarily you have 2 main missions, which is saving Chico.
One main mission, but I got you.
So basically what I'm saying is, because I knew the experience wasn't more in depth than that, I didn't feel like I wanted to waste my time on it. Like, I did it, and I was like, all right, do I want to go back and replay this mission again that I just beat? I'm over.
See, like, for me, Ground Zeroes was like, I don't know if you remember or if you had the demo disc from PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Man, I played the Metal Gear Solid demos so many times.
You didn't play as much as I played it.
Man, listen to me.
You did not play it.
I was listening. Just
man,
like
look, I had the blue Pizza Hut demo disc. Blue. It came on Pizza Hut demo disc. That's how I got mine, yeah.
Well, look. Regardless.
Yeah, and I might have had a jam pack version of it too.
I had the jam pack version of it. But my point was that by the time the game came out, I was already a master at playing it.
Okay.
So like with Phantom Pain, like the brilliant. First off, the controls in Ground Zero are great. Yeah. Like, I was blown away when you go prone and you can like rotate and hit all of the different positions. Right? I was like, oh man, this is gonna be the best Metal Gear by far, just the gameplay alone. Yeah. Then you play Phantom Pain and you see that the controls are more fluid than what they were in Phantom Pain. Yeah. So man. Anyway.
You didn't find any awkwardness in like using like grenades or C4 or anything like that? Cause those have been the biggest like concerns with me. Like when I'm trying to like throw something where I decide, oh well, I don't want to throw this grenade anymore, but I can't like put it away. Like, I'm trying to slowly depress, hoping that it won't throw, and he still chucks it.
I haven't had that issue. Historically, I do think it's better than what it's been in previous Metal Gear. At least you got an idea where the grenade gonna go this time. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe if I had an issue there, it would be maybe how the camera is just a little bit. Maybe if it was a little lower, as opposed to as zoomed in as it is on his back. But I don't really have an issue with the grenades. Gameplay wise, I don't have an issue with any of the gameplay, to tell you the truth. Yeah, none whatsoever.
I mean, it's a great game. And I mean, you know, mind you, you know, and just to kind of, you know, say it for everybody else listening, you know, it is definitely something that when I make my statements on the things that kind of bug me, like the cliffs and things like that. I mean, these are still very minor things. They just get to me because, you know, as you may have heard us talk about before on podcasts, primarily I'm a tactical game player. Like, I like tactics. So for me, you know, if I make a tactic and I've sat down and said, yes, this is definitely the best tactic, and then it doesn't work because the game doesn't allow me, it probably bothers me a lot more than it would bother somebody else. So I don't think that should be any reason not to go pick this game up. If you've been thinking about it on the fence, it's definitely worth the $60. I mean, hell, some may argue it's worth more than that. I mean, it's just a phenomenal game.
Well, we already paid for it for those of us who bought Ground Zeroes.
Well, I'm sorry that you paid $100. You should have waited.
Nah, it was worth it.
Okay, well, hey, if you
I got my $30 out of it.
Oh, it was $40 on PS4. Sorry, it was more expensive. They charged us an extra $10 on PS4.
Well, that's what you get for buying the PlayStation.
Well, that's what you get for having an inferior console that doesn't run MGS4 as good, MGS5 as good as PS4.
I mean, technically, mine doesn't have as many problems as yours does, but whatever.
Okay, well, you enjoy your 980p.
That's fine.
All right, you know
I'm nearsighted, you know, so I can barely see shit anyway. So it could be in 240p. You know what I mean? 2040p. That shit don't matter. That thing that kind of get me like, man, listen. It's 100 points off. Okay. That ain't breaking nobody's. That's not breaking anybody's gameplay experience.
Oh, so what if Kojima hid like a special like code inside of that extra 100p that you can't see because your resolution ain't good enough?
I wouldn't care. Again, I'm not a visual guy. My vision ratio with all my contacts is 850. Oh, you understand that?
Speaking about senses, the sound quality on this game and just jump back to it.
Oh man,
the directional sound, like when I have my headphones on, I'm just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like it's so clear to where things are coming from. Like there's no misunderstanding of where footsteps are. Where sniper shots coming from. Like you can hear that stuff really well.
No, the thing I love the most is like when you dash or you ride the horse, you hear the wind. Like how it muffles, like how you run in real life, like that is like who's or when you driving on Mother Base and you go from one strut, you riding a little bridge to the next one. And you hear the sound difference. Or when Big Boss is crawling and you hear his bionic arm hit the ground and it's dink, dink, dink. Like man, come on.
You know what? I think I understand why Konami fired Kojima.
Why?
Spend too much damn money to get this shit like real life. they probably like, yo, all right, let's see the budget for this month. He's like, hold on, you paid $100,000 to record a metal arm hitting concrete? Well, yeah, but it was really important to the experience. What the fuck is this shit, man?
Well, I think I'm gonna say like on some levels I feel like it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
Cause it's like he made like this great game. Like we know he's not gonna make anymore, but then the flip side is that Kojima been making Metal Gear games for almost 30 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like this is his greatest one, his masterpiece, and in a sense you could say it's the game that he probably always intended to make, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, he's on to the next thing.
I think if Konami, obviously Konami got a lot of bad press, right?
Konami a bunch of assholes.
However, to be fair, what other big console games do they make?
None.
So it's almost like, is Konami going to completely pull out the console market in general? Do they care if they lose you as a customer after you bought this game?
I mean, I doubt. I honestly doubt they're going to pull out of the console market in general because of Metal Gear. I doubt this is to be the last Metal Gear. I don't know, but I would like to see another Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that. What you think?
I think, so there's two parts to it. I think the first part is if Konami wants to save face and kind of make the community feel good as a whole over this whole, chain of events. And for anyone who doesn't know, Konami essentially fired Hideo Kojima. The complete reasons are mainly up for speculation, but most reports indicate that it does have to do with the cost that it takes to make Metal Gear Solid 5. From a head count to a budget. And basically, Konami makes a lot of money in Japan, making a lot of pachinko machines, and and a lot of mobile phone games. So, if you do the ratio, if they spend $1 million on a mobile game and they do a return of $20 million, that's a $19 million profit. If they spend $10 million to make Metal Gear Solid 5 and return $20 million, yes, they've made $10 million, which is good, but at the same time, the profit margin isn't the same as if they just stuck to mobile. They could have saved that $10 million when they made 10 mobile games.
Yeah, but that's still the dumbest shit I've ever heard, because if Metal Gear was to sell 100 million copies, no, if it just so, let's say Metal Gear sells 1 million copies, at $60 a pop, it's $60 million.
I agree.
So you just made 50.
Okay.
The market, at the end of the day, is the mobile game market large? Yeah, but let's not forget that there's the video games is the $1 billion industry.
But it's a chance you take, right? When they put Metal Gear Solid 5 out, they're taking a chance. So if Metal Gear Solid sells well, then yeah, of course they sell 100 million copies, and they gonna make
100. It was say 1 million copies.
All right, yeah. We'll just keep the numbers low. So they sell 1 million copies. Yes, they make $60 million. However, they don't make completely $60 million, right? Huge chunk comes out to pay royalty fees and licensing fees to Microsoft, Sony for being on their platforms. There's all this money that had to go into voice acting and all this other stuff.
No, I'm sure, but it ain't cost $60 million to make it. If it sold 2 million, if Metal Gear sells 2 million copies, it's $120 million.
Are you sure Metal Gear didn't cost $120 million to make? Destiny cost $500 million.
Where the fuck was the money at? That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, I know.
Stay off Destiny's podcast.
I know, but what I guess what I'm trying
to finna get tight.
But what I'm trying to say is, I completely get what you're saying. If it's a hit,
let's look at the numbers too, though, because historically, dang, now I do see your point a little bit, because historically, Metal Gear isn't one like the Metal Gear franchise doesn't sell as much as like a Halo franchise does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a Metal Gear will generally sell about 5 million copies. Hold on, but 5 million? Come on, no, never mind, whatever. Let's move on to something else.
All right.
Because if the game sells 5 million copies, right?
Mm-hmm.
5 times 6 that's $300 million.
Yes.
So I don't give a damn if he spent $100 million but came back and with 2. Somebody need to shut up.
But it's risk versus reward, right? The
truth is that the culture at that company changed. But that's the reality. You can't. But it is what it is. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It is what it is. Kojima done made his bread. He done made his mark. Man, it's time for him to move on and do better things.
But that was going to my first point. So basically, what I was trying to say is that if they decide to try to essentially be, if they decide they want to kind of make amends, they could, in theory, just give Kojima the rights to Metal Gear. They're not going to do that. Why? Because their business, at the end of the day, they don't legally have to do that, right? He made that game successful under their brand. They gave him the money to do it. So if they want to keep the IP, they are in legal grounds to do so. No one can make them do it. But I think if they want it to be a nice gesture, they could do that.
Well, I think with Metal Gear, I think that, honestly, I'm sure I'm sure there will be other Metal Gear games. But I think this is the perfect one for him to go out on. Yeah. Because like this storyline, don't even get me started on how when he was saying Metal Gear Solid was supposed to be the last one, but then you have the little conversation with Ocelot and Solidus at the end. Like, how could that be the last one? Yeah. So I mean, I haven't beaten the game yet, but if there's a touch of finality, if that's even a word,
it's a word now.
Oh, yeah,
we have enough viewers. That'd be a new word.
I appreciate it.
All right, cool.
But if there's enough, well, let's say just if there's enough closure in the storyline, I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah, I think with me, like I do like the key elements of the Metal Gear Solid story. Like, I don't really care about the private military companies and the PFs and the RMAs and all that other every goddamn acronym they feel like saying every 5 minutes. That I understand in the meanings of them, but I just don't really care.
You get the point in the story for it though.
Yeah. No, I think the only thing I care about is the relationship between Big Boss, Solid Snake, and maybe even in this game, you know, if it's true that he's going to be in the game, Liquid Snake, right?
I'm convinced it's Liquid from the last trailer alone. Yeah. Convinced.
So, I mean, that's really the only relationships I care about, honestly. So at this point, I'm just like, I just kind of want to see that story to end. Like, this is kind of like the middle of kind of how, I mean, well, I guess technically it's the beginning of their relationship, right? But, you know, it's one of those things where there's actually a cassette tape that talks about cloning that I heard inside of the game. Yeah. So, you know, like, I feel like if this is the middle ground for that, then, you know, kind of getting an understanding of who exactly, you know, created them, what was the reasoning behind it, and kind of getting all the complete detail. Because as we've seen in the Metal Gear Solid universe, a lot of times the original reason changes at some point based on whatever company is running whatever technology at the time. So I kind of want to get a better understanding of why all that came about. And that's pretty much it. But, you know, I think that pretty much sums it up. Hopefully, Kojima, I also thought it was funny that at the beginning of every mission, at the end of every mission, Hideo Kojima's name comes up every single time. And Kojima Productions pops up. Like,
created by.
Yeah,
developed by.
But every mission, every main mission, when it's over, puts his name up there. It's almost like a special fuck you to Konami. Because what you see is created by Hideo Kojima, then it says Kojima Productions, then slowly that fades out and it's like Konami pops up. It's almost like created by me, bitch. And then it's like he pulls up Konami to let you know who the fuck he's talking to. Like, that's how I feel every time I see it. It's kind of priceless to see. But I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up. We're going a little over, but I think that's okay. I think we had a pretty good conversation here.
I suppose.
Any last words or anything you want to say about MGS5?
Hold on. Even before we break.
Okay.
What budget do you like the most?
All right. Don't get mad at me. I don't have the last buddy unlocked, and I don't want to spoil a lot of things for people, right? So, I guess from here on out to the end of the video will be a spoiler. Yeah, turn the video off if you're done watching. Spoiler at this point. Don't worry, it's not a huge spoiler. If you played up to mission 14, you should be fine. But basically, so I got a Diamond Dog. I like having him with me, but he doesn't listen to me, kind of like my husky that I have at home. I tell him to sit, and I walk like 15 feet away from him. He gets the fuck up. So I like him. I like his ability to spot out enemies, which I love. But I've run into a lot of issues where I decided to take on a mission, and all of a sudden it's like, we need you to destroy this tank real quick. We need you to go do this real quick. And in the midst of me trying to do it, I realized, fuck, I don't have a horse. I don't have any transportation. Now I have to call somebody to come in and bring me transportation so I can get to where the fuck I need to get to. And the time was running down the whole time. So when I'm doing a mission and I know I'm already inside of the base, then I have them deploy D-Dog for me. Other than that, I'm with my horse the whole time.
Really?
Yeah, because to me, I just don't like like when I normally get about 150 meters or something like that, like near a base, then that's when I kind of, I'll get off my horse and I'll start doing my thing. But normally, if I'm like 400 or 500 meters out, I'm not running, man. It's been too many instances where I've been running, and all of a sudden, the APC or like a fucking tank is there, and I'm like, oh shit.
Well, my issue was anything that's like when it's 1,200 meters out. That's when like, all right, man, it's time to call a helicopter. I'll go back to Mother Base and then redeploy and come back closer.
But that costs more money. See, I be trying to be conservative with my money, so I be like, I ain't gonna spend it.
I ain't worried about
well, it is what it is. I guess.
I like deep cause me and D-Dog, we just run.
Yeah,
we'll get there. But I recently unlocked Quiet, and I haven't leveled her up enough yet. But I could see her. I could see me saying I like her the most.
Yeah.
Like, Quiet.
When I get her, I'll probably try her out, but I don't see her being able to be a better sniper than me. So we'll see.
You don't have to do any work.
Hey, a pair of tits don't always get you somewhere in life. Sometimes it do. Most of the time it do.
On my Mother Base it do.
All right, well guys, that's gonna wrap it up. So I'm signing off. It's KingDX and Show 60.
Peace out
For first3.com, and we'll see you guys next time.